Good evening, neighbors, and thank you for joining us on Williams Around the Way. My name is Tanya Richardson. I am the Public Relations and Communications Officer for Mayor Dennis P. Williams and the City of Wilmington. Thank you for joining us today. We're here every second Sunday and every fourth Sunday of the month here on Channel 28, where we hope to use this format to apprise you of things going on around the community and in the administration. My guests today are representatives from the City Department of Parks and Recreation, and we'll be talking about the full gamut of services going on through Parks and Rec. It's getting to be cold outside, and I thought to myself, when I think of Parks and Rec, I think of the summertime, but I think you'll be really impressed to hear all of the services that they provide year-round to tens of thousands of Wilmingtonians, so we're looking forward to that conversation. But as always, we'll start with just recapping some things that have happened since our last time together. On Thanksgiving morning, Mayor Williams blew the starting horn for the 37th annual PNC Thanksgiving MS Walk. This is an annual event that kicks off in front of the PNC building on Delaware Avenue every Thanksgiving and raises tens of thousands of dollars toward research, services, and importantly supports to Wilmingtonians and sufferers from around the region so that they can better live with their diagnoses and the disease of multiple sclerosis. The walk is really unique because it takes runners and walkers through many neighborhoods of the city, including Brandywine Park. Thanks to the over 2,000 registrants from the city and around the county, and the scores of volunteers who help to make this event the city treasure that it is. I have to tell you, I go to a lot of community events in my role with the mayor's office, and I have to encourage you, when you hear about events like that, it might not seem like much, and anyone who knows me knows that I am not a runner, but the energy, if you love your city, if you enjoy what Wilmington offers you as a resident, consider coming downtown for events like this. It was a lot of fun. The weather was awesome and the energy was great, and it really started off my day in a very special way. So I hope you'll consider attending events like this in the future. This past week, Mayor Dennis P. Williams hosted a surprise pep rally for Howard High School on the occasion of their first Division II state championship title against St. George's High School this past week in a Delaware stadium. This important victory marks Howard's first state football championship in the school's entire history. Howard High School is well known as a technical high school with strong academic and athletic traditions. The championship achievement marks a milestone in the school's athletic history. The composure, preparation, and teamwork that Howard has displayed through this season is evidence of outstanding coaching, supportive parenting, and unwavering encouragement from their school community. The Howard High School Wildcats have proven themselves worthy of this win. It was an exciting victory, and it will be counted among many other milestones and hallmarks that have made Howard such a jewel to the city of Wilmington over decades. Congratulations from the City of Wilmington, and we look forward to your continued successes. Just this past Friday, Bank of America, led by April Birmingham, who is the Senior Vice President and Marketing Manager of Enterprise Business and Community Engagement, donated just under 100 Dream Boxes to help the Mayor's administration pilot a service project with the Jefferson Awards Foundation, which happens to also nationally be headquartered in the Community Services Building downtown. City of Wilmington employees, Bank of America employees, and a handful of civic associations are assembling back-to-school supply kits for city youth so that they can be prepared for going back to school after the holiday break. In addition to donated school supplies, every Dream Box includes a dream journal and a personal note from the person donating the box to the child, encouraging them to continue to work hard and dream big. The Dreambox concept was one of 3 Jefferson Foundation Award LEAD 360 National Award-winning initiatives and was devised by a high school senior, Patricia Manubay, in San Francisco, California. Thank you, Bank of America, for helping us kick off our Dreambox pilot program with your donation. You'll see in the photos April Birmingham, myself, her team, and in the back there is Sam Beard, who is the co-founder of the Jefferson Foundation Awards and also president of the foundation. We'll look forward to collecting more donations through the end of the year and distributing them in a big kickoff event at Hicks Anderson first week of January. Southeastern Pennsylvania Transportation Authority, better known to most of us as SEPTA, and Delaware's own DART system recently announced that they've worked together to increase weekday, late-night round trips in and out of the Amtrak station in Wilmington, the Biden station. SEPTA serves as a regional transportation service for the entire Philadelphia-Wilmington metropolitan area, so this is a pretty big deal. The extended schedule will now include train arrivals from Philadelphia to Wilmington and departures from Wilmington to Philadelphia after midnight. Local businesses and residents are looking forward to the potential for economic growth that the weeknight additions will bring, along with helping individuals whose work schedules require public transportation between the cities in late night hours. Mayor Williams shared his encouragement to learn that SEPTA and DART have come together to expand these services. We believe that it will help boost the economy and help employees get back and forth to work, as well as encourage folks to take part in entertainment opportunities and dining opportunities and just opportunities to spend time with family and friends between the cities without having to use I-95. To learn more about this extended schedule, which begins tomorrow, Monday, December 14th, please visit dartfirststate.com. A reminder to viewers that the City of Wilmington will be closed for the holidays on Christmas Day, December 25th, and New Year's Day, January 1st, 2016. We'll be open again on the 26th and the 2nd, but because this will be our last time together before the holiday, I wanted to just remind everyone and to let you know that that schedule will be posted online. Also a reminder that the holiday season metered parking policy is still in effect. This is the policy that allows through January 4th that residents and visitors only have to use parking meters between 8 a.m. and 12 noon. Again, between those hours, please do pay the meter, but after 12 noon, you do not have to use a meter, although you do have to abide by the timing restrictions that are posted. So for example, at 1 o'clock, you wouldn't have to put money in the meter, but you still could only use that spot for 2 hours. And the PRIOs will still be ticketing and patrolling as they normally do based on these new requirements for the holidays. These new restrictions are restructured to encourage people to shop downtown, to come downtown to enjoy the holidays, and we hope that it encourages you to do so. And with that, I will move over to our guests for the afternoon. As I mentioned earlier, today we're going to talk completely about Hicks Anderson Community Center and Parks and Recreation. Parks and Recreation is a huge department. I think usually I disclose to my viewers, you guys, that when I have these little biases, and I love Parks and Rec. It reminds me a lot of the types of human services organizations that I've worked with, community centers, youth serving organizations, human services organizations. And I hope today to spread the love so that other Wilmingtonians become endeared to the work you do and appreciate the work that's being done as much as I do. Joining me on the couch today are first Sandra Manlove, who's director of the food program through the Youth and Families Division at Parks and Recreation. Thanks for being here, Sandra.
Thank you for inviting me.
Of course. And then also my buddy, Sean Allen, who is the person who has kind of given me my 101 of Parks and Rec over my very short tenure with the city. He is well-known, well-respected, and very passionate about the work that he is able to do through the department, and I'm really glad to have you both here. Now, of course, there's so much to talk about that I'm going to try to at least touch on everything, but I'll start by just giving viewers kind of an overview of the mission of Parks and Recreation. Parks and Recreation is actually today an extension of Parks Department that was first founded when the city was in its infancy. It has from that time grown from just being a department that makes sure that we're good stewards of the actual acreage of the city to also include divisions now that are about human services. Their mission is to provide programs and services that support the holistic wellness of Wilmingtonians, and that about encapsulates it all, especially when you consider the recreational and wellness benefits of having beautiful parks and public spaces. And that includes, of course, the William Hicks Anderson Community Center. And why don't we start there, Sean? There's been a lot of conversation about West Center City lately, but Hicks Anderson has always been a beacon in that neighborhood. As we did in our conversation in preparation for this interview, just tell me how you feel about Hicks, what's going on there, and we can start to talk about some of the highlights of program going on there.
Yes, thank you. First, I just want to say, as the Deputy Director of Parks and Recreation, I oversee the daily operations of the whole department, which is broken down in 4 divisions. Youth and Families, 1 division, the Maintenance Department, meaning 1 division, which is over top of 69 parks with 369 acres of land. The Recreation Division and what we're just getting ready to talk about, which is the William Hicks Anderson Division. I think that a lot of times when we talk about violence and different things going on in the community, and William Hicks Anderson Center being in the center of a lot of violence, not the only violence in the community,
right,
but being in the center of the violence in the community and in close proximity. But overall, there is a lot of programs going on on daily. We open at 8 in the morning and we close at 8 at night. We're open 12 hours a day. In the morning time, we have a computer lab that's open within partnerships with Department of Labor and the Delaware Works program. And what that does is allow adults to come in the morning, prepare for their resumes, get an opportunity to look for jobs, and get employed in this time of when we're talking about economic development and getting people to work and have the opportunity to take care of their family. In addition to that, they have an opportunity to play basketball, do activities in our gym. This is between 8 in the morning and 2 p.m. before the young people get in, and they have an opportunity also to enjoy a fitness area there. We have a game room where they have an opportunity to come in and look at TV. So during in the morning, there's a place, not only is a safe haven for young people, there's also a safe haven for adults and middle-aged young people also, and individuals that are out of school, that are not yet in college, but we try to provide opportunities to get them where they need to get. But after 2 o'clock going into 3 o'clock is where the most important part of the center's services really start to happen, and that's when our young people begin to come in. And one of the things I want to say, as I spoke last week, is that I can sit up here and try to make Hicks Anderson look like a pearl, but I think one of the best pieces of evidence that I can probably give you is to invite you over to the Hicks Anderson Community Center after 3 o'clock, when the young people are in the computer room, when there's nowhere to sit at. We have 25 computers in there. There's nowhere to sit. Kids are waiting to get on the computer, where gym activities are going on, where the boxing room is Dougie's giving boxing lessons, where the game room is ping pong's going on, pool, the shooting pool in there. Also, we feed evening meals at that time, and Miss Manlover going a little bit of that. And then 8 other age-appropriate activities. We have a teen lounge downstairs. But we also, in addition to that, we have a mentor and tutoring program that happens every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday between the hours of 5 to 7.
So,
And in the summertime, it'll blow your mind. We're probably the what can I say, the low cost day camp in the city of Wilmington, where we just raised the price, but we were charging $25 for the whole summer. And we were, you know, we were full to capacity. We're full to capacity every single year. And during that time, kids are, you know, doing the usual activities, gym, but they're also going to trip every year. They're learning Spanish. They have a math class, an educational component. So a lot of times, as I always speak, that perception without challenge becomes one's reality. And if you begin to speak about and talk about what's really going on,
right,
you can kind of sit back from afar and look in the news journal, hear people gossip and say, but what's going on the outside is what's going on the outside. But what's going on inside of Hicks is invaluable, positive programs that young people rely on and they look forward to going to every day. And I'm so passionate about what I do, because anybody that knows me know my story, that I don't come from Harvard. You know, I come from a drug-stricken poverty neighborhood, and I was glad, I was fortunate to make it out. They wonder why the mayor and myself, my father went to church together. They grew up together. My father was killed when I was 5 years old. So I know how it feels to grow up without a meal. I know how it feels to grow up with your electric being cut off. I know how it feels to be homeless, because I was homeless at age 16. So I don't play with this. And I take this very serious. And I've been doing this for over 25 years. And I promised myself, if I ever got up out of the condition that I was in, I would spend the rest of my life trying to help people. And that's what I try to do every day. Not just me or staff at the Parks and Recreation. These individuals, they come in every day and they put their heart and soul. Do we have challenges? Yes, we got challenges. We got challenges like anybody else. But we come in there and we try and we do what we do every day.
Absolutely. You know, you said so many things I could just go out on a tangent on that really struck and resonated with me. But let me say, in support of everything that you've said, that growing up, I can remember my godmother telling me, your home begins at your door. It's what happens inside. It's what you develop inside. The world might be going on outside, but inside Hicks Anderson, I think one of the things that makes me most proud of it is that it's a building that's full all day. A lot of times service organizations struggle during the day when there are no children there. What are we doing? How do we get people here? I think Hicks does a great job because it's a community center. It's for the whole community. Anyone can come in and use the resources, and it's rightly placed for the passion and for the mission. It's rightly placed. And I'm really proud that the city has that space to prove itself and to stand and deliver, particularly for the young people in that neighborhood. You guys do great work. I know there's a lot of conversation about what may happen with Hicks in the future, and that's exciting conversation. That's not conversation that makes us feel daunted. That's not conversation that we're not having openly. We want the center to grow with the neighborhood. And even better, we want the center to be part of what the neighborhood wants to be. And that's where the city is coming from mostly, I think. And in the meanwhile, every day, hundreds of people are going there, like you said, to be fed, to take advantage of lots of resources. Just the fact that adults can go in there and exercise.
right.
Or watch TV. Yeah, or have community meetings. It's also a center where partnerships bring resources to the neighborhood. There are lots of nonprofits that come in and provide services if, you know, they've worked out those partnerships too. Those are extra resources that come through grants and things like that. But Hicks is kind of the star of the show, but there are a lot of other services provided through Parks and Recreation, particularly on the recreation side. The person who manages those are Rashid Mustafa. There's so much that goes on, and most people originally, like myself, think of things like the kids in basketball and the flag football and swimming around the city every year. The mayor made a commitment to get the pools open sooner, and we've been opening the pools on Memorial Weekend every year since he's been in office, which is a big deal because that's before school lets out, and it means that after school they can go and swim and have something to do that's constructive and active and positive. Also with the young people, there's chess. A young man,
So many programs.
I mean, there's so many. I'm just going to talk through some of them, and then we'll land on a few of them. But in particular, the chess program, I love talking about. In addition to the chess program that happens in 6 or so parks around the city, there's a young man who has been getting a lot of attention, Johnny Means, who is a Southbridge resident. He started a chess program in Neighborhood House in Southbridge, and now he's partnered with Parks and Recreations to make that program even better. So you have this high school student who is being a near peer model to other kids, doing something cranial, doing something that really elevates their thinking. The recreation department also, which blew my mind, has a lot of programs for adults. And I'm not talking programs. There's softball leagues, there's bowling, there's people who do billiards, tennis. You talked about a ping pong tournament. That's a big deal for someone like me who doesn't like to go to the gym, but wouldn't mind playing on a softball team. These are programs for everyone, not just young people. Young, I'm going to put that in quotes, young people, because I think in the adult leagues they separate 18 or 19 and under, and then over that age, so those of us who are a little slower don't get whooped by the youngins. So there's so many opportunities. And the Recreation Division also partners with Police and Fire for their sports leagues. They co-sponsor the Roberto Clemente Softball Championship and Tournament. And we partner with a lot of other nonprofits to do things too, and that includes all of the youth leagues, that includes the partnerships with all the community centers. And the way that Parks and Rec contributes is that we provide the fields, we provide the umpires, we provide the officiants to make it easy to use city resources for the purpose of recreation, which is a part of wellness.
And one of the so many programs that I can talk about, but one of the most important programs that I'm proud about, just not saying it because I'm a part of, I work for the city, but the mayor had, before he got elected, wanted to provide an opportunity for young people to try to work all year round. We knew that we didn't have the funds to do that, to get the amount of young people that we had working in the summer to work all year round. But this year we were able to get some funding from Bank of America to start a program, a juvenile reentry program, and dealing with young people coming out of Ferris, dealing with young people that are having academic challenges and overall behavioral challenges. And so we were able to take 30 kids this year and work with them through summer youth program and have intervention education workshops with them. They actually still work from 4 in the afternoon to 7 in the evening. But one of the most important things, it was some individuals that I believe, from me knowing their background, hadn't they had the opportunity to be employed not just this summer, but coming from school, going straight to work and going back home, that they would have been involved in a lot of criminal activity because some of the young people I had worked with before. So we're real excited about that program. We have a lot of good outcomes from that program, that some kids that were not in school at all, were not going to school.
Right. Some
kids were involved that were getting in, moving that way to involved in criminal activity and violence, but we were able, just through some employment and some mentoring, some male guidance, get them back on the right track and watch them begin to do the right thing. Actually, one of the kids was played in the Howard championship football team, which was they won their first championship in Howard history.
Right.
He was a part of that. He was one of the kids that wasn't in school at all, but through the program we had, got back on track, got back in school, got playing football, and now he's part of history. So, you know, there's a lot of things I think that, you know, a lot of things that we have challenges a lot of times getting some of the things that we do out, and I think we need to get better with that. And as a deputy director, I'll take ownership for that. You know, even though I have a director, I have a supervisor, but you know, so I'm not here to say that everything's perfect. So, but I do know that we are doing some good things for some young people, some good things for some adults, and I want to say one more thing before I forget it.
Of course, go ahead.
And that is that if you want to provide resources, each year we do a thing called Santa's Workshop, where we give out, we give kids what we call raffle tickets, and set it up in the gym, and they're allowed to go in there and go Christmas shopping on their own. And that'll be this week, the 17th, from 5 to 7. This is our third year doing it. Usually we have no less than 350, 400 kids, and kids that are ordinarily wouldn't have nothing for Christmas. And we also do another program that's called The Mayor's Coming to Your House for Christmas, the Mayor and Santa Claus. And I started that 3 years ago because the last time I got something for Christmas, I was 11 years old. And I know how it feels to wake up in the morning and not have nothing, but most of all, I know how it feels to suffer the humility to go back to school and have to be dishonest about I got something I didn't, and don't understand why you didn't get nothing. And I have DVDs from the 3 times we've, and I'll DVD it again this year, but one of the things I want to say, if you want to be a help to Hicks and to this project, you can drop off any kind of toy, anything to help us for these families. This year we're doing the Santa's Workshop again at Hicks, and this year we usually pick like 10 families that we actually Santa Claus with the mayor. We put all the stuff on the bus, and we take it straight to their house and knock on their door. So this would be going on the 4th year rather, and so we need help with those type of toys, and any help that anybody can add, you can dial 302-576-3810, and you can come down to the Parks building, leave something there, or you can come over to the Hicks Anderson Center and leave something there, and it's just an opportunity to give back to some people that are less fortunate than us.
Sure, and I'll be posting the numbers to Parks and Rec and the divisions when we're finished with the show today. So if you're interested in helping with some of the programs that Deputy Director Allen just listed, just get your pens and pencils ready, or go to our website where you can get contact information about how you can get involved with good work going on in the communities through Parks and Recreation. Before I segue into talking about specifically the food program, and I think the numbers are so impressive, I would be remiss not to mention some of the other things going on at Parks and Rec, such as summer youth employment, which employs 500 to 800 kids every year in a 6-week program. It's done by lottery. There's the Green Jobs program, which is a competitive program where young people between the ages of 14 and 21 actually apply to have mentored job opportunities through the summer in green fields. So things like horticulture, energy, conservation, clean water work, all those types of things. And then they get a one-on-one mentor, and that's a partnership through the university, I believe. The city covers the counselors that work with them, transportation, and their stipend. Camp Barnes, which is a great opportunity for 8 to 12-year-olds who I'm going to call at promise. I don't like at risk.
Yeah, we don't say that no more.
We're all
That's
at
old.
risk for something. Okay, good.
That's old.
8 to 12-year-olds to have an overnight camp experience, and a lot of Wilmington PD volunteer their time. And I also want to be sure that I mention that the Parks and Rec Department also runs after-school safe haven sites throughout the city. They operate November through April every evening, where there is an opportunity for kids to come and have free gym play, which is very important. I think sometimes we underestimate the role of play in a child's well-being and a young person's well-being, not only in their development and getting their energy out, but that's time when they're being creative, they're being social. And that open gym time is the sticky, sweet stuff that draws them in to the center so then they can do other activities, homework help, enrichment, creative opportunities, mentorship. And this happens every evening at Warner, Bancroft. There's a pilot at PS where they have time. Some of the time is for younger kids, and then the later time is for older kids, so that they can kind of get specialized services. Also, the PAL is involved with Safe Haven, as is Neighborhood House and Kingswood Community Center. So I just had to be sure we talk about everything.
And also, in addition to Safe Haven, we receive a grant from the Children's Department every year to open up William Hicks Anderson Center from June to October, 6 extra hours in accordance to what we already opened. So we close some nights at 10, and then when it starts to get back towards school time, we take them hours and push them to the weekend. So Hicks is open 7 days a week at that time.
So during the summer, you're open 16 hours a day.
Correct.
Most days.
Correct.
And this is crucial. And I think it's the type of work, honestly, that the average Wilmingtonian, the average county resident assumes is going on. So I'm glad we have the opportunity to really list it all out, because you guys do a lot of work with not that many people. The funding is not always perfect. And when things happen in the community, I want to say particularly at Hicks, Hicks sometimes takes a hit for that.
Yeah.
And if there's anything we can do to change the perception that Hicks is just standing there empty in the midst of all that, I hope today is the beginning of conveying that message, that the city of Wilmington is full of very passionate people who have long careers in making change in communities and people's lives. So we're really proud of that. So with that, I want to spend the last few minutes of this segment speaking with you, Mrs. Manlove. You are the director of the Foods Program, which is a particular division of youth and families.
Yes.
Tell me a little or a lot about what you're doing there, because I think folks will be really surprised.
Well, for the most part, like Deputy Director Mr. Allen, my passion is children, meeting the needs of the community and providing a service to children that may not have no opportunity within their homes. There may not be that availability of food at home for them to have. So a lot of the community centers, schools, after-school programs, churches, recreational centers, they open up programs, provide programs where they foster children to, have a place to come to, a safe haven, so to speak, for them to come to. In that instance, we partner with them in getting food out to them so that they will have a meal. A lot of them, for the most part, in the city of Wilmington, it's the only meal that they have. And we try to make it opportunity for them, but at the same time, a nutritional value that goes along with it. And that came through USDA setting a standard, as well as Michelle Obama jumping on board with healthy eating and things of that nature. So it's been a plus factor for us down through the years, and the more children that we can reach, that makes my heart happy. The more programs I push, and even in this hour, pushing those in the community to create more opportunities for children to come inside, safe places where they can come in and get a hot meal, have something to look forward to outside of getting involved with the activities, the after-school care, tutoring and things of that nature. The more that we avail ourselves to the community, the better off we'd be able to operate in the city of Wilmington.
Absolutely. I think one of the things that most surprised me is that when I think of the food program, I was thinking summer, because I'm used to seeing kids get breakfast and lunch in the summer at the park sites. I know some of those sites in the city of Wilmington are also places where summer in the parks happen. But I learned that food programs through Parks and Rec occur year-round.
Yes.
And that you call the
Yes.
summer program what happens from June to August,
Mm-hmm.
because every other month of the year it's a normal situation.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me a little about what happens in the summer first.
How many people we feed?
I got the numbers right here.
In the summertime, we have practically close to 100 sites during the summer where we provide breakfast
Wow.
and lunch. There's vacation Bible schools that come on board, which is dinner feeding, and they may come on for a week to 2 weeks. Summer camps, we have parks, we have connected with the Newcastle County, and we've had more parks. It's been like, I think about 7 or 8 parks that come on board from Newcastle County
Oh, okay.
that we were able to render assistance
So not
to.
just city,
Not just
but
city.
county programs as well
Yes.
take part in what
Yes,
Parks
there's
offers.
barriers that we have to abide by, but at the same time, we have the opportunity to open it up to Newcastle County, which is within a little bit on the outskirts of the city of Wilmington.
I have some of the hard numbers. In the summer, you have 24 parks, 99 sites, no charge to the site or the child,
No.
includes breakfast and lunch, so they're getting 2 drop-offs a day,
Yes.
usually running activities. So these programs are doing things, and then we show up with the food. So
Yes.
it's very rarely what some people think, which is that kids just show up to a park and pick up a lunch and scat. It's not like that at all. And the department hires site supervisors to make sure everything goes smoothly, to collect data, to make sure the partnerships are tight. And here are the numbers. Every single day, every summer, you serve between 4,500 to 6,500 meals
That's right.
every day.
Every day.
During the
Every
summer.
Every
day.
day.
I'm going to look into the camera on that one.
Yes.
Every day. So when you think about the children that, because they are not in school, they're not getting breakfast and lunch. If this was not available, what would their summer look like? They might still go to camp, but what if they had to bring their own lunch? What would their day look like?
It would look pretty slim because, and they're a little more challenging for the family as well as the child.
Right.
Because there's programs that may just have indoor where it may not make it available to the child. You know, there's different types of components and programs that are going on in the city of Wilmington. So to even think that someone could not, the positive is that there's a park throughout the city of Wilmington where a child can come if it's not feasible for them to go to an indoor camp, that they can come to a park
Right.
where they have activities and get the same components there and interacting, and you know it's a fostering thing that will benefit the child.
It's a beautiful thought. I have to tell you, when Nicole Adams, who is the manager of Youth and Families, gave me those numbers, I just thought about how many people that is. 4,500 people in the city of Wilmington, and most of them are kids.
Well,
It's a beautiful
geared
thing.
for kids.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Now, in the wintertime, it's the same concept, except
It's dinner
they're getting dinner.
and there's hot meals.
And this is at community centers, churches. And then she also said that in addition to those 28 sites of after-school programs and daycares, there's the additional exception that adults can receive these meals if they qualify.
If they qualify, these are for those that are mentally challenged, and they fall into that criteria.
Very nice.
Yes, yes.
So they become eligible because their case managers sign them up, and they go through a process, and then they present themselves, and you guys
It's a
become
little
the
something
providers.
Like, it's a little much like if you're having a program at your site and you have some
Oh, I see.
individual there that's mentally challenged, that's when they present the opportunity to them.
I am overwhelmed, and I
Mm-hmm.
said when we started the show today that I hoped that I would help be your cheerleaders and expand the fan club for City of Wilmington Parks and Rec.
Mm-hmm.
I hope we've touched on that. I just looked down at my notes and saw more programs that we didn't mention, like the college tours that
Yeah.
happen every
Yes,
fall and every
yes.
summer. It's a long weekend in the fall, but in the summer it's a full week.
Yeah. Youth in government. Where we have
Youth in
young
government.
People, young people come in and act the city council, the mayor, and they come. They meet. They spend a day with the deputy director,
Right.
acting as deputy director. These are elementary kids, school kids.
The
Kids
list
like
goes on and on and on and
Urban
on and
Bike
on.
Project. We've been involved in Delaware State University Small Farm Partnership. We have senior luncheon where we feed the seniors every year.
SAT and ACT prep.
We feed
Yes.
homeless every. We feed the homeless every Christmas morning
Feeding the
at Hicks.
homeless. At Hicks.
That's been going on for years.
Senior events such as the Fraulein Charter,
Yes.
Thanksgiving
Take
dinner.
them bowling.
So,
we have a senior center right downstairs on the
ground
bottom
level.
floor, ground level of Hicks.
So, although I could
Friends,
spend
they come
yeah.
and
Go ahead,
use
say
our
that.
friends, they do their swimming league at our pool. We have a limited size swimming pool. It was just there last Friday. Over
Yeah.
200 kids from Friends.
Friends
so.
School chooses Hicks
Right.
as their school
Yeah.
pool.
That's awesome.
I could spend 2 hours with just the two of you, but I'm going to take a quick break, and I'm going to bring on Mark Sparagna, who is the superintendent of the Parks Division, and I think I could blow a few minds with him about the numbers that he manages and what he's steward of. And I'm also going to have Chandra Pitts on to talk about some WEAC activity. Please stay with us. We'll be back to talk some more about Parks and Rec. Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. It's our last segment here on Williams Around the Way this afternoon. We have been reviewing programs at Hicks Anderson Community Center and at Parks and Recreation for the city of Wilmington. And I'm joined in this last segment by Mark Sparagna, who's the superintendent of parks for the city of Wilmington, and also by Chandra Pitts, who's not here to talk about Parks and Rec, but has some important information to share about public engagement and the governor's WEAC committee working on education in the city of Wilmington. So we'll finish out with her. Thanks for joining me, you guys.
Thank you for having us.
Mark, let's continue our conversation about Parks and Rec. You represent the parks.
Yes, the maintenance division.
Talk to us about what your division does.
The maintenance division is responsible for the care and upkeep of all the assets, the physical parks themselves, the buildings, the structures, the pools, the fences, the play equipment. All of those things falls under us. As Mr. Allen said earlier, we have about 300 acres of parks. 69 some odd parks. Then we have parks and plazas that goes up, plazas and greenscapes that total about 80.
That's a lot of responsibility. And as I said earlier, the Parks Department, Parks and Rec is really an outgrowth of what was Parks when the city was still teeming with Bancrofts and the names of important people who name our streets. Parks was a big piece of how Wilmington gained the landscape that it has today. It really was a city that our founders built around the Brandywine. Talk to me about the divisions that you manage that help keep all that together, because I can imagine between winter and summer you all have a lot on your plate.
Right. Well, the maintenance division breaks down into several different units. There's grass cutting units, there's technical units, there's a sanitation unit, there's the shop unit, and then there's the landscape unit. All those units work together. During the summer, during the growing season, we're basically taking care of all the grass and making sure everything's cut and cleaned up. In the fall, we do leaf removal and mulching of leaves in parks, special projects, cleanups, things like that. In the winter, if there's snow, we do special projects, but we also remove the snow from the sidewalks in accordance with the city code so that people can get around, because as you see, especially in the downtown parks, Rodney Square is a park, and we need to get that up and running right away so people can get back to work. We have several premier parks, which are downtown parks, HB DuPont Plaza, Spencer Plaza, which is across from the City County building, Rodney Square, and a couple of small little plazas that are in the city, in the West Center City area that we maintain.
It's interesting because, again, in our conversations and preparing for this afternoon, I thought about how much we take for granted those spaces and what they would look like if they were not maintained. And they have a very important role in city life because our environment is artificial. So to have green space to rest your eyes on really does something for making cities livable. And those are also the places where statuary is happening and fountains are happening and activities are happening. So the part of Parks and Recs that you provide is really important because those are the stages upon which a lot of other things that contribute to our well-being happen.
Yeah, that's another thing, special events. We supplement special events that go on in those parks with our bandwagon, with our tents and things like that. So yeah, it's a really important part. Some people downtown, if they didn't have Rodney Square, wouldn't have a place to even walk their dog. So I agree with you. It's very important that we remind about green space. That leads me into my next thing is the partnerships that we've done in the city of Wilmington. We've done some wonderful partnerships where we've taken groups, community groups, Chase, TD Bank, churches, community groups, youth, some youth football team we did this year. They've come down and they've assisted us in doing things. Just yesterday, Saturday, we had a sorority come to Hicks Anderson and painted the ladies' locker room for us.
Nice.
A service that is invaluable, and it not only helps us, but it also gives them some ownership to the park. When a child plants a tree, and we've done tree plantings, they now start to understand how important trees are, and maybe when they're walking through the park next time, they're not going to break the branch off a tree because they planted that tree.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very important and as green infrastructure, it's invaluable.
You and your team, how many of you are there?
The maintenance division has 26 employees, full-time employees, and again, we augment that with about 10 or 11 employees in the summertime to help with the grass cutting and things like that. But that's it. I mean, other than that, it's all community driven, and which is has been a very big help for us.
Yeah, the community piece is huge. I first became acquainted with your work in my first community project day, which is organized in the planning department, but it is a big piece of neighborhood development. It's a big piece of parks. It's a big piece of public works. And it's good to hear that your division is so open to having residents call you and say, we'd like to become a Friends of Our Park group, or we would like to make sure our civic association is a part of beautification, or we like to adopt a block, and that you can then point them in the right direction and then give them the supports they need, because just with the 26, 36 of you couldn't do it on your own. It has a lot to do with what we do as residents to keep our spaces beautiful. We really appreciate your work, and we appreciate your passion for it. And I would say let me know if you need help shoveling, but I'll stop short right there. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you.
To close out, I'd like to just introduce some of you for the first time, and to others reintroduce you to Chandra Pitts. Chandra is Executive Director of One Village Alliance, which is a nonprofit that's doing a lot of good work, particularly with young people here in the community. They're engaged with a lot of movements that are going on around community safety, holistic wellness, and civic engagement. And she's here today, though, as a member of the Governor's WEIC Committee. And I wanted to give her the opportunity not only to tell us what it is again, update us on what's going on, and talk about an opportunity for public involvement.
Thank you so much,
Of
Tanya,
course.
for inviting WEIC to the table and having me again. So WEIC has become known for the acronym, but it's really the Wilmington Education Improvement Commission of several cross-sector individuals appointed by the governor, who has stated, we really need to make a difference and raise our voice and come together towards strategic action to improve public education for all children in Wilmington and well beyond, because Wilmington is Delaware, and you know the Delaware community doesn't exist without Wilmington. We're a big part of it. So I just want to, you know, in the last couple minutes, tell parents, community members, students, educators how important it is for us to hear your voice. So we have one public comment forum scheduled for tomorrow, actually, right in City Council chambers. And that will be the last public comment forum. So we invite people to come out to Wilmington City Council chambers tomorrow, which is December the 14th. And the address of council chambers, in case people
That's
don't know.
800 North Front Street on the first floor.
Okay. So we asked individuals to come out, and what WEIC is doing is forming strategic action. So a lot of people may have heard about redistricting and this redistricting plan and funding student success. It's far greater than that. We're dealing with every area of improving student success throughout Wilmington, and we want to make sure that we have high quality teachers, that we have enough resources for facilitators, for the facilities that through which education is facilitated. And we also want to make sure that we're extending learning within the classroom, but also really reaching out to those organizations like ours, like FAME, like United Way, to bridge that gap with community, because a lot of what determines student success happens outside of the school building and outside of the school schedule. So we want to make sure that we're bringing everybody to the table, taking a really holistic look, like you said before, at education and how we can all work together to raise a voice and improve education for our students here.
Thank you. And I have a slide, maybe the production group could put that up to let you know where to come again. Again, that's tomorrow in council chambers. At what time?
It's at 5:30.
At 5:30.
Yes.
Please come right after work. And these are not public town hall meetings. This is just a time for residents to give feedback that will go on the record as this commission works with all of the involved parties to begin to make change.
And Tanya, that's a really important point, because public comment doesn't end until the 14th of January. And it's just public comment. So there are 3 ways you can show up tomorrow, December 14th, which is our last public comment forum, which is just for comment. We're not going to be answering any questions. You can also email us, or you can send us mail, snail mail, that's known. And you can find all of the email, the address, all of the information for the public comment forum tomorrow on solutionsfordelawareschools.com. That's on the website at www.solutionsfordelawareschools.com. And you can also find the information on Facebook. On our Facebook page is Solutions for Wilmington Schools. So that Facebook page, again, Solutions for Wilmington Schools. We invite you all out to come out and to raise your voice, to let us know your thoughts on how do we improve public education here in Wilmington and well beyond in Delaware.
Thanks, Chandra.
Thank you.
That's going to wrap it up for us on this Williams Around the Way. This is our last time seeing most folks before the holidays. A reminder that the city will be closed on December 25th. And if you're interested in coming in this Wednesday for the Mayor's Walk-In Wednesday, I want to encourage you to call the Mayor's office to confirm the time. Just call the Mayor's office, say you're interested in coming, and the receptionist will confirm timing for this Wednesday. Also, just want to remind you again that you can park downtown for almost free after 12 o'clock. Please take advantage of the opportunity to engage with local small businesses. I'm Tanya Richardson for Williams Around the Way. Happy holidays, everybody. We'll see you next time.